Prosecutors in the Timothy Bliefnick murder trial called their final witnesses today. Good afternoon. I'm Natalie Will. Today, the prosecution has called several crime lab experts to the stand today. An Illinois State Police firearms specialist testified this morning that 27 shell casings from Timothy's home matched the 8 found around Rebecca's body, meaning they were fired from the same gun. Another ISP expert testified that testing showed extreme similarities between an Aldi bag from Timothy's home and plastic fragments found at the crime scene. However, he said results were inconclusive as they were not able to compare the bag that was possibly used during the murder. Prosecutors say Timothy used an Aldi bag as a silencer when he shot his estranged wife Rebecca to death in her home in the early morning hours of February 23rd. Another state police expert said testing on a crowbar found at Timothy's home came back inconclusive, and the multi-tool was eliminated entirely. As state police firearms experts, prosecutors say they plan to call their last witness today and then rest their case. Now, defense attorneys will present their case at that point. No media outlets can broadcast or stream the trial live. WGEM News does have a reporter in the courtroom. You can watch a feed of the live blog of proceedings as they happen in real time at WGEM.com. And once today's proceedings conclude, you can watch gavel-to-gavel coverage on demand on the WGEM Smart TV app.